I am the doctor, this is my section. Earth is under my protection. Planet of birth is Gallifrey. I've got 2 hearts, your life is saved. Run into the master, raw Missy. Come on, Alonzo. Alonzi. I am a Time Lord. No, I'm not rich. 12 bodies a man. Now it's time for a switch. Don't look like that. I'm in great health. You were expecting someone else? Regeneration. Oh, such fun. When I say run, run, run. What's up, my boy? Peace and sanity. Sorry, mustache. Reverse the polarity. Sometimes I'm north, but always a limey, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. Jump in the TARDIS, go for a ride, it's bigger on the inside. Exploring all of time and space, oh, what's that? Exterminate.
Cyberman or Daleks, maybe.
Would you like a jelly baby? Time's ticking, we'd best go. A new adventure, Geronimo! I am fantastic, so are you. Best come with me, I'm Doctor Who. Oh, welcome to a brand new episode of D4WH. I am your host, full of unused parts. I'm Adam O'Sullivan. Joining me as always is my lovely co-host. She's like a bouncy castle. It's Nicchia Shoot.
Hello, I am like a bouncy castle.
At least you're not like a chav.
Apparently, Rose or Billy Piper had to wear a wonder bra.
For Cassandra,
to be Lady
yeah.
Cassandra, and then David Tennant reckoned she wouldn't take it off when she was Rose again. But I love the way she goes, oh, like a bouncy castle.
Oh, thank you for wearing your Wonder bra. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I can barely see.
Yeah, your tits are up near your cheeks. It's amazing.
What is a Wonder Bra?
Let me just push it down.
It's like Wonder Bread. It's got extra iron.
Fibre.
Yeah, extra fibre.
No, I think they've got padding underneath, like chicken fillets. Have you seen the chicken fillets that some
I've never
people
had
wear?
to use them.
No, you and I don't have
No,
to
but
do
have you
that.
eaten chicken fillets before?
Yeah. So,
They taste really rubbery.
yeah.
It's a bra
yeah.
made by KFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of pushes it up so you've got more of that heaving bosom.
Maybe that's my issue. I keep ordering the Wonder Bra hot and spicy. Yeah. And,
Zinger.
Yeah.
Zinger, yeah. And they just zing me all the time. I'm like, this is depressing.
I feel like ours would go into outer space if we tried it.
Is that one of our Patreon rewards? You just bouncing your tits around? Dave's like, what is she doing? I'm like, I have no idea. But she insisted upon it.
The Patreon's doing really well, though.
It was either this or sell your underwear. So, I thought jumping up and down sounded good.
Please welcome back to the show for a record 3rd episode.
Woohoo!
He's force-grown to be a guest on this podcast. It's the host, Scott Driscoll.
Hello, everyone. Does that mean I've got a half-life?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So we better record this pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Your half-life is an hour and a half.
Oh, damn
Yeah.
it, damn it.
And then you will take over my consciousness and then you'll die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my own arms.
In your own arms after telling yourself how beautiful
That's
you
right.
are. Yeah.
I love that in my own arms sounds like the name of like a love song or something.
It does.
In my own arms.
Maybe it's like an 80s hair metal band.
Yes, yes, definitely.
I thought of the Sarah McLachlan song. In the arms of the angel.
In the arms of myself. It's a song about masturbation, basically.
That's
Wow, we're having a really sexual episode so far.
That's actually in the hands of myself. The arms of myself is different. Yeah.
I touch myself.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's
When I
sake.
think about you, I touch
Well,
myself.
when you start the episode talking about Nicchia's tits,
And octopuses that throw their penis at people. Well, not people, girls.
Girl octopuses.
Girl octopuses, yeah, not just any girl.
Octopuses.
They're not that stupid.
Octopussy.
I just fucking said that.
She did.
Still in my joke.
It's all right, because I'm going to cut out you being indignant at me.
And that'll be in
Can't do
Adam's
that.
next set.
You wouldn't have a podcast at all.
All right. Oh, what are you doing now? You're checking your phone, Adam.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
see if any...
His dick pics are still
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. I've sent you all a dick pic, so
Woohoo! Oh, good God.
Wait, where the fuck
Adam.
is it?
that's the first time anyone's gasped at the son of my
Why does it
penis.
say macro on it?
Really? The first time?
All right, we start as we always do with Doctor Who in real life, D-Whirl.
What?
D-Whirl.
What's a D-World?
Doctor Who in real life.
Remember, he's not doing
Doctor Who news anymore.
Yeah.
I forgot. Why?
Oh.
So it doesn't have to be news. It can also be just other little things.
Okay. Other little things like a dick pic I just got.
Yes, like a David Tennant dick pic.
That would be enormous.
Tell you what.
David Tennant?
Yeah, David.
It's supposed to be a panorama.
Oh, that would be scary, wouldn't it, if you got it and you're going, by God.
Normally people use like a drink can for comparison. He used the Grand Canyon. It was so
Yeah,
weird. No wonder he has so many kids.
Well, you know,
A drink can?
I don't know. I thought
Apparently.
Yeah, you're just looking at me like, apparently. Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
I've heard female comedians talking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have
I
thought
haven't
a
heard of that.
biro. Just to give me a little bit of, just a biro,
What about a domino?
tic tac. Yeah.
No, there's a female comedian who has a joke about it, and anyway, I
don't know who that is.
shouldn't do other people's jokes, but
No, we won't.
But you're not recording.
yes. So Doctor Who in real life, September 2019, unfortunately saw the passing of Terrance Dicks,
Oh.
one of Doctor Who's most prolific and influential writers.
Yes.
Dicks worked on Doctor Who between 1968 and 1983. Writing 45 episodes and script editing countless more.
Yeah. He's the one that, because Terry Nation and Terrance Dicks, I used to always, I know that they're different, but sometimes when I go Terry Dick, but he was just so important to the history of
You
Doctor
think they should
Who.
always have someone named Terry working on the show?
I think they should.
At
I
all
think they should be
times,
like,
yeah.
yeah, Terry.
He walks around in Terry toweling.
Yeah. Oh, where's a Terry toweling hat?
Wasn't he directly responsible for the novelizations?
Yeah.
Yes,
I thought he was, yeah.
He who worked on a lot of the novelizations called himself the unofficial editor. So basically it was Terrance Dicks's job to, he took it upon himself to go and speak to the original writers of the episodes and say, hey, can you adapt them for this novelization? Because obviously if there are some younger listeners listening, basically back in the day you didn't have Netflix and you couldn't just watch the episodes over and over again.
No.
Once they were on TV,
That was it.
that was it. You got to wait for them to repeat again. So the only way you could watch them again in your mind.
was to have the book.
Yeah.
Or to do what I did and get your little tape deck and just tape off the mono, and then you've got at least the voices and you knew the pictures in your head. So, and I could listen to that at night and scare the crap out of my sister at the same time. So it was always a good day for me.
But if the author either didn't want to adapt their own episode or they weren't able to, then Terrance would do it himself.
Yeah.
Like in 1987 when he had to adapt The Mysterious Planet, as the original author Robert Holmes had passed away the year earlier.
Oh, yeah. He was great too, Robert Holmes.
In the end, 66 novels were written by Dicks, meaning he produced 40% of the first run of novelizations between 1973 until 1994.
Wow.
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 That's a lot.
That is a lot. He was very dedicated to Doctor Who, wasn't he? Who's your favourite Doctor Who novel writer now? Does anyone have one in
I haven't
particular?
read any of the novels.
Me either.
Oh, really? Oh, the novels are really good. I was just trying to think of the name. My guy, Justin. It's going to come to
Timberlake?
me.
He writes-
Justin Timberlake.
Wow.
Yeah, he's bringing the Doctor back.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'll bring the
say
doctor back.
I mean, there's always Douglas Adams because
yeah,
technically
of course.
Hitchhikers is fan fiction for Doctor Who.
Yeah. I will look up his name and check him out because whatever he writes is always a really good original novel.
Oh, we might have to do some of the
Oh,
novels.
you've got to do some of the novels. They're really good. I like them.
So Terrance's first writing credit was on The War Games, which named the Doctor's race as Time Lords and exiled the Doctor to Earth with a new face, ending the tenure of the second Doctor and starting that of the third.
That was the first of the novelizations I read.
Oh, really?
really?
Oh, there you go.
My school library had a whole bunch of them.
I was allowed to buy one when we had a trip to Toowoomba, which was, about a 3-hour drive, do the big shopping. And I was allowed to buy one. And sometimes if Mum wasn't there, Dad would let me buy two.
Ah.
And I'd go,
Interestingly enough,
with two.
Target set the limit at 128 pages. Couldn't be any more than that because they were considered kids' books.
Yeah. Well, and they kind of, I guess they were. Like a lot of the novelizations now, they are kind of adult fiction-y, I guess, but they're just another way of having more Doctor Who in your life. So I actually tend to listen to the audiobooks.
After working on the show for 5 seasons, he and producer Barry Letts both left the series in 1974 after helping to select the new Doctor, Tom Baker.
Good move.
Yes. He went on to write Robot, The Brain of Morbius, The Horror of Fang Rock, and State of Decay for the Fourth Doctor. Episodes which, based on the episode we did on the Fourth Doctor, are considered some of his best.
Brain of Morbius. Love that one. That's the first time we meet the Sisters of the Flame, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Sounds like a 80s hair metal band.
The Sisters of Khan. The Sisters of Khan. They come in
okay.
later.
Yeah.
And they keepers of the sacred flame. I think that's
I like the
first time
name
we meet
Sisters
them.
of the Flame.
Sisters of the Flame.
Hey, we're welcome to the Sisters of the Flame. Yeah.
Hang on, let me look this up. I want to say this name.
Horror of Fang Rock is one of my favourite episodes of all
Love
time.
that.
That just reminds me of Fraggle Rock.
Down at Horror of Fang Rock.
It's nothing like
Now
that.
we need to do a mashup.
And the guy that I really like is Justin Richards, and he writes new stories, and he's really good. I've never had a bad Justin Richards.
Oh, and he writes
one.
all of Justin Timberlake's songs.
He does. He
Right,
does.
right, okay.
Yeah. Justin keeps taking out the word doctor with sexy or, because Justin's got no sense of,
He's secretly a Doctor Who fan.
He is.
Get in contact with us, Justin Timberlake, please, for the
God,
love
I
of
wish he
God.
was secretly a Doctor Who fan.
It might be.
He could be.
I hope so. The last episode that Terrence Dix wrote was for the series was the 20th year anniversary. This 5 Doctors in 1983.
25th anniversary? No, 20. You're right. 20th.
I remember that.
With the silver cover.
I remember just sitting in front of the television, just desperate for it to come on. My whole family had to shut up, and I was allowed to eat dinner in front of it. Oh, it was so good.
That was the year I was born.
Yeah, Adam was sitting in diapers.
Yeah, getting breastfed.
I was also doing that earlier today.
I'm not going to ask any more questions.
5 Doctors, of which only 3 Doctors appeared.
Well, Tom Baker thought it was too soon to come back, and the first Doctor had died.
Had passed away, yes.
Had passed away, so it's the first time that we had someone play it. But we should do a review on it. I own it, and it's a great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to do that instead of the episode we were going to.
All right, okay.
Now, if that wasn't enough already, Dix also wrote 2 stage plays, Doctor Who and the Daleks in the 7 Keys to Doomsday, featuring an alternate 4th Doctor portrayed by Trevor Martin.
Wow.
Because it
Who's
was...
Trevor Martin when he's at home?
I don't know, just an actor. I don't
His mother loves him.
God, I
right?
did all this
Really good.
research, and now you want the detailed research on some guy that I mentioned the name of.
Now, listen, don't we have a segment somewhere where I ask a lot of questions about movies I'll never watch?
Yes,
Well,
that's right, yeah.
I think that's just the whole podcast.
Let's just try again. Featuring an alternate 4th Doctor portrayed by Justin Timberlake.
yay!
And Doctor Who The Ultimate Adventure, which first featured John Pertwee, then understudy and cyber leader David Banks for a day whilst Pertwee was ill, and finally featuring Colin Baker as the 6th Doctor.
Wow.
How ripped off would you feel, though, if you turned up to that play expecting to see John Pertwee?
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Oh, who's this guy?
David Banks. But imagine if he was better. You're like, oh shit, I saw it
That's a
again and
good
he was
point.
way better.
He should have been the Doctor, yeah.
In 2008, Big Finish released audio plays of both stage plays and asked Dix to pen a sequel called Beyond the Ultimate Adventure in 2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So rest in peace, Terrence Dix. You're a massive legacy. There won't be.
You worked hard for the Whovian universe, and we thank you and love you for it.
Yeah, definitely. The Target books were on hiatus since 1994 until being recently brought back by Russell T Davies, who wrote a synopsis, a book for Rose.
Yes. Oh, you said that. I haven't read that. In fact, I should get out all my Target books and have a look at them one day.
I love going to the Lifeline Book Fest and just seeing tables and tables of them.
I know.
That's where I'm going to buy mine then.
I bought one at the book fest, and it was the how to run the TARDIS. So it was all the schematics of the TARDIS and what all the buttons did and all that stuff, and I thought it was fantastic.
And people try and tell us the TARDIS isn't real.
Oh,
God.
yeah. People are dickheads.
Why would there be a manual for it if it's not real, guys?
Exactly.
Jesus.
It's like saying a Commodore isn't real. I mean, honestly. Anyway.
Yeah, there's been 64 of them.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's right.
At least 128 of them.
There we go.
Nerdy.
Yeah.
Our episode today is New Earth, Season 2, Episode 1, written by Russell T Davies and directed by James Hawes. Originally broadcast on the BBC Saturday, April the 15th, 2006, 111 days after the Christmas invasion aired.
Ooh. Because he stayed at the Powell estate.
I don't think in the series he stayed there for 111 days.
Well, it's intimated in the Runaway Bride that between the Christmas invasion and this one, he stayed with Rose at the Powell estate.
But how long was he there? A couple of weeks maybe?
Don't know.
Day?
I don't know. I don't know. There you go.
But yeah, So,
I say he was there 110 days.
there's no, I mean, the episode was.
Yeah. That's what
okay,
I'm saying.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm being
after watching
literal.
the Christmas Invasion, they then had to wait 111 days before the new series aired.
Yeah.
Nicchia is intimating that the show is shot in real time.
In real
right,
time.
Yeah, right.
Do you not get this?
I can't wait till they come back and it's like, 2 years in the future.
Yeah. I hope it is.
Yeah.
I'll be very pissed
Those
off.
poor people who had to wait 111 days, and meanwhile we're waiting a year.
I know.
It's almost the end of the year, and we still don't have a start date for the friggin' new series.
I've heard no Christmas special.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Sorry, anyone that lived in the years past the 80s to now is sorry. I'm just going to. This is a little fake tear that's just sort of rolling down my cheek.
Oh, it's turned into a tattoo on your.
That's right.
How many people did you kill during that time?
7.
Yeah. No, look, there was. You're right, Scott. It was over, and you didn't even know when it was coming because no one said anything. And
So
then
basically,
one day,
the table's just been cut in half right now. You two have your little love fest. Me and Adam are just going to go cry in a
We
corner.
were excited about K9 and Company.
Yeah,
all right?
exactly.
Oh dear!
Exactly. We nearly wet our pants with that one. Anyway,
And it was
For
only
no
a couple.
good
It was only a
reason.
couple of years ago.
No. This was a telly movie.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
what did it tell you?
Not a lot.
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It was.
Told me
Not good.
it wasn't going to work.
Yeah,
That's
no.
what it told me.
It was Sarah Jane Smith and K9 against some witches.
Yeah. And it was lovely to see Sarah Jane back again.
And she was in activewear in the credits.
Oh.
Yeah, go back and watch the
I'll
credits
have
on
to go
YouTube.
back and watch that. But they wanted to bring her back between the fourth and the fifth Doctor as a companion because they were really worried that with Tom Baker going that it would be much harder. But she declined. But she was going to be the companion of the fifth Doctor. Well, she was asked.
when the pitch was, look, Sarah Jane, he can drop you off at another place and just abandon you again.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, somewhere even further north.
Let's start with a short synopsis. In the distant future, an order of cat nuns cure all illnesses, but the 10th Doctor is suspicious of their methods. He must uncover the truth and save Rose from the vengeance of his old enemy, the Lady Cassandra.
Moisturize me.
She only says that a couple of times in this episode.
I know, I was very disappointed.
So they've abandoned the way that they did years in this episode. It's not
Yeah.
5.E/Apple/
Yeah.
It's just, he goes, we're going to go further than we've ever been before. A whole 23 years further.
Well, it's still further.
Yeah, that's true. But that's
Technically correct.
He could have gone 1 year further and that still would have been further than they'd ever been before. Anywho, I kind of liked it. I always wonder where they filmed it because it was the bloody windiest day that they could have picked for outdoor filming, wasn't it? Her hair's flipping all over her.
Oh, well, it's very difficult to get permission to film on apple grass. So.
Yeah, all the time. But it's funny because she's still so flirty with him, isn't she?
Oh, she's very... Like, it's
My
the
goodness.
difference between her with Christopher Eccleston
Yeah.
to... Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the difference is about 100 and
Yeah,
however many
ratchet it
days.
up. The second she sees David Tennant, she's like, yes,
Yeah.
please.
What I didn't understand is that she basically was like completely separated from Mickey towards the end of the first series. And then when she's leaving to go back with the Doctor again, she kisses him goodbye.
Yeah, but he says love you, she doesn't.
Yes,
yeah.
Oh, I thought she
Yeah.
did.
No, she
Mum
doesn't.
Why
Mum gets a love
why would you
Mickey
break up
doesn't.
with someone and then kiss them on the lips and then go off and like be with
But
the
it's
Doctor?
not like a big tongue pash, is it?
No.
Does
still,
anyone say pash still?
who the hell
I know what
kisses
you
their
mean.
ex?
I know what you
though?
mean, but it is kind of Mickey's fault for being like, still
A kiss
into her.
ass, basically.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
don't leave me.
It's incredibly obvious, especially if the Doctor's been staying at the power estate.
yeah, would
Well, I
have
watched
had
a
some
couple
bumping.
of episodes beyond this in preparation, and there's a beautiful moment when Mickey goes, "I'd like to come along with you," and Rose mouths at the Doctor, "No."
No.
Oh, no.
And Sarah's going, come on, Doctor, you need a Smith on board. And then she catches the look Rose goes, she goes, oh, should have said that.
No.
Wait till we get to it. Yeah.
God, poor Mickey.
I know. He's like the third wheel, isn't he?
The tin dog.
Oh, the tin dog.
The Tin Dog.
True.
There's a lot of good episodes this season.
I'm
looking forward to it.
reviewing them.
Using the psychic paper, the Face of Bow summons the Doctor to Ward 26 in a hospital in New York.
No. So good they named it twice.
New York.
Okay. That was fun.
That was great. That was fantastic. That was worth it.
Yeah.
You got a new opener for the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. In the ward, the doctor notices humanoid feline nuns, the Sisters of Plenitude, who have been curing incurable diseases on New Earth.
Isn't the makeup great for the cats?
Fantastic.
You just can't fault it. It's
incredible.
When they released the trailer for that Cats movie, I posted up on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
How did we get worse from,
How can we do a live action humanoid cats and Doctor Who goes, hold my beer?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or the cat from Red Dwarf is the other one.
Yeah.
Someone just mentioned Red Dwarf.
Settle.
I did find it interesting, though. There was a lot of background nuns that had the veils.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to do the makeup.
Whew. She's a veil nun. Oh, thank God for that.
And one of the nuns with the makeup on is actually goes on to play Martha's mother.
That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
I thought that was it.
She's the main one, isn't she? Isn't she who goes, shut down the pod, incinerate the person.
I didn't know that. I read that after I watched the episode, so I didn't have a chance to figure out which one it is.
Yeah, she was the cat that did spray with the spray bottle. Naughty cats.
Naughty cat.
And this is the first episode where the doctor talks about his love of little shops. I love a little shop.
And he goes on about shops all the time.
Yeah.
They should have a little shop. I'd put it there. I like a little shop.
Well, apparently they were filming in the Millennium. I was going to say Millennium Falcon.
Ooh, that's quite the crossover.
The Millennium Arc in Wales.
Yeah.
I was going to say Welsh. In Wales. And when he points to, that's where I put the little shop. It is an actual little shop that sells like crockery and
really?
pottery and stuff.
In a hospital? Or what?
No,
what
it's
is
not
it?
a hospital.
Oh,
It's
okay.
yeah.
But you always have a little shop.
there should be a
Anywhere
little
you
shop.
go, museums should have a little shop.
But, I mean, this is written by Russell T Davies, so maybe it's Russell T Davies liking a little shop.
Yeah,
true.
maybe it is.
And the interesting thing about the fact it was written by Russell T Davies is that everyone lives at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Yeah.
Mostly.
Yes.
No, Chip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But Chip and Cassandra kind of deserve to be where they
Die
exactly.
But they
together.
get a happy ending because they die in each other's arms.
A nun fell down a
Yes.
shaft.
Yes. Some of the nuns.
What I'm saying is that Russell T Davies' original plan was that all of the flesh were going to be euthanized.
Oh.
And then he read the foreword that Stephen Moffat had written for his book, in which he says, Russell T Davies creates great characters and then melts them. And he's like, all right, then in this one, everyone lives.
Just this once.
Couple of
Well, that was a
nuns
Stephen
go.
Moffat episode. There you go. So that's the difference.
Stephen Moffat has trouble killing off people,
Yeah, exactly.
which is kind of, I would be the same. I'm not good at killing off characters, so.
Yeah.
The doctor sees the face of Bo as dying, and legend has it that he's lived for thousands, perhaps billions of years.
I keep looking at him thinking, can I see any Jack resemblance in him?
Yeah. Well, Russell T Davies has never officially said that it is definitely Jack, and has actually forbid, because people have said to him they want to write like the novelization of Jack turning into the face of Bo, and he has forbid that from ever happening.
So do you forbade or forbid? Forbidden?
That's the part you want to talk about from that sentence? That's the part. You want my grammar.
I'm sorry.
Grandma.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's like you're my grandma. Just because the words are not because she's old, because the words are fuck off. Rose, however, is tricked by Lady Cassandra, the bitchy trampoline, and her servant Chip into having Cassandra's mind implanted in Rose's body.
I love that bit. And apparently Rose wanted to do something that could do a bit comedic because of last season being quite so dark. And also it's the first story they've done on a alien planet. Even though it's New Earth, it's not Earth.
Did that surprise you? Because that surprised me when I read that.
It did surprise me.
I had to go back and look at all the episodes from season 1, and I was like,
They're all on Earth or on a station.
Yeah, they really were.
there was nothing on an alien planet.
It's our first alien planet.
Even though it was technically still Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just another version of it. But
Well, this is actually an alien planet that's just been called New Earth.
Yeah.
So
But I just love Rose is playing Cassandra. I think she just does it so well with that. Ew, how does she speak? Oh, apples and pears.
Yeah. What I don't like and what I don't think works all that well is when Lady Cassandra is in The Doctor, because he camps it up.
Oh, yeah.
I actually really like that, though.
We're missing the bit, though, that Cassandra in this is made out of her own bum skin.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's
her
talking
back.
out her. I love the way there's two bits where Rose is about to call. Oh no, Cassandra's about to call Rose a bitch.
Oh, yes.
Instead, and then it cuts to Rose having dialogue with the Doctor saying a bit rich.
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
kind of. I really.
And there's
really,
another one where she talks about her ass.
Yeah, you're talking out your ass.
She's
but
talking out your ass. Ask not
ass not.
Yeah.
what Cassandra can do for you, but ask what you can do for Lady Cassandra.
I just love her. Oh God, I'm a chav.
Yes.
So good.
And then there's a bit where Rose meets up with the Doctor again, and she's like, apples and pears it. Hello, love.
Yeah.
And then she kisses him. I mean, she really gets
Yeah,
into that
yeah.
kiss.
And I love the bit where the Doctor's like, still going.
But it's like this. Yeah, still got it.
Yeah, well, they go from the end of the last episode where they have their first kiss, and like the whole season kind of builds up to that sort of storyline. And in the first episode of the new one, they're just like, "Yep, straight into sexuality.
Yeah, it's like season 1 was foreplay, and now they're like, oh, let's just go for it
Let's just fuck."
Well, they didn't.
in front of Mickey.
Yeah.
When I was doing my research, a lot of people were upset about the kiss in the trailers because they thought it was going to be,
Yeah.
all sexing the Doctor. But it's the only time Rose kisses the Doctor, and she's Cassandra. The only other Doctor she kisses is the Metacrisis Doctor. She never kisses David Tennant, the
Amy
original
Pond,
Doctor.
on the other hand, she's couldn't
she
stop her
gets it
from
on.
kissing the Doctor.
Yeah. There's some consent issues there with that whole Cassandra in Rose's body and all that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Yeah.
But oh God, Rose is. You can tell Billie Piper is having quite the time.
You know, I
being
realize
Cassandra.
I love that everyone's talking about the female Doctor as if like, oh, it's all about making females seem better than men. Meanwhile, in the first like Russell T Davies series, we've got Mickey, who's a friggin' getting cucked all the time. And then friggin' Rory, who's Amy's trying to hook up with the Doctor all the time. Oh, yeah, things have changed, haven't they?
Not much.
No, not.
Well, when Matt Smith and Karen Gillan were doing that scene,
They were doing it.
Yeah.
yeah, doing
Oh,
it.
this is a scoop. How did you find out?
Pornhub.
Yeah.
They had to keep redoing the scene because Matt Smith kept kissing Karen back.
Oh.
Like there's extras of them, like Matt Smith actually kissing her back when he's supposed to be like, no, go away.
Because they said it was awkward because they were friends, so they called it something like kissy time or something because they were really awkward.
How old are they? 5?
Well, I think they were really awkward about doing it. Kissing your friend is always weird.
It's really awkward when they go.
Wiggly wobbly sexy wexy.
Anywho,
Is that where your penis just disappears and appears on a different time?
Yeah, but you have to throw it at someone.
It appears on the DVD extras of...
and it just goes flying across the screen. That's my
Get a nice spiral on it.
You're talking to it and it's talking back to you.
Oh, fuck it.
Let's return to Rose.
Doesn't everybody do that?
I would if I had a TARDIS.
What, talk to your penis?
I haven't talked back.
Doesn't need a TARDIS for that, though.
The Doctor and Rose discover that the hospital has an intensive care unit which houses thousands of pods containing artificially grown humans, which is called flesh.
Flesh. That's
Yes.
kind of I don't like that word.
Every time I heard that in the episode, I heard little TM after it.
Trademark flesh.
Oh, yes, yeah.
It's like the word moist and flesh. Blech.
Flesh.
Cake.
I got nothing wrong with a cake.
Okay.
No, I like that band. That's good. Cake.
Yeah, just moist.
Moist.
Moist cake. Ooh, I like
Yeah,
that.
see, there you
And the
go.
Doctor asks the cat nuns, "What have you done to Rose?" Because he figures it out.
I think
Rose would care.
I think he figures it out after she first kisses him, doesn't he?
No.
It's at the computer terminal.
Rose would cover
I
her
think the
chest.
computer is when he is suspicious, and then it's confirmed when she just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. But I mean, what happens, like earlier in the episode, did Cassandra and chip, did they just happen to have a robot right near where the Doctor and Rose were? Like the creepy tentacle robot just happened to be right near where they were on the apple grass?
Oh, right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. Maybe they've got them all over the city because all Cassandra wants is money and a yacht.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's going to do.
Given this, the future was at a space yacht, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
She could sell those spider droids.
So she
That's
was
what she could do and make some money.
She was obviously looking for goss, looking for dirt on people.
Yeah, okay, so it's sort of like a spy bot.
Yeah. Oh, the Duke of Manhattan, what was his story?
Oh, he was being turned into stone.
I know, but that woman, any friendship, like the Duke of is not.
Well, he's been burnt before, hasn't he? He's been in a Billie Jean situation, that's for sure.
They really missed the opportunity to call him the Duke of York.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Duke of
did.
Manhattan.
Well, it's New York, so
Yeah, well, he could be the
Grand old Duke of New
original
York.
York.
yeah. The artificial humans are forcibly infected with every disease in the galaxy. So the sisters can discover cures as a way of dealing with the influx of settlers and the diseases they bring with them.
And they're every 10 minutes?
They get resprayed.
I mean, that's, if you become sentient, that would be,
Yeah.
hideous.
Well, they are becoming sentient.
Yeah.
It just looked like space leprosy to me.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did. Although I wasn't around during the Black Death. I'm fairly old, but I wasn't around during the
I
plague.
thought you were going to say you weren't around during space leprosy.
No, I was around for that.
Right,
yeah.
okay. You will be around for that.
Yeah, I will be around for that. I'll live in forever. But it kind of looked like the pox and
Yeah.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
It
yeah.
was disgusting. It was. Ugh, gross.
After being confronted by the Doctor, Rose finally reveals she is Cassandra in Rose's body and knocks the Doctor out with a perfume gas, much like River Song's lipstick.
Yes, I know. So what do you think of the moral thing here? I mean, they're curing...
Which one?
Well, they're curing people.
The main one.
The main one at the moment. They're
Rich versus poor.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But I mean, okay, so they're doing testing on humans. They're not doing testing on animals.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're
But
not
they're-
humans that are born human.
No, they're growing.
Yeah.
So it's that if you're the nuns are saying, well, look at all the people we're helping who've got families and this and that, and then you've got these, species that are becoming sentient. I don't know. It's an interesting
It is
dilemma.
it's interesting, yeah.
Because it's same with testing on animals.
Yeah, well,
if
the
it
moment-
helps people, is it a bad thing? I'm not giving an opinion.
Yeah,
here,
but
just-
I mean, the moment you realise that they're sentient, then that would be the point you'd go, oh, we need to change what we're doing.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
you didn't realise they were sentient,
yeah.
then it becomes a moral grey area when you realise you're testing this on something that is effectively what you're trying to cure.
But then what do you do? So, like, obviously, well, are they...
Do you let everyone else die? Yeah, it's a
Because how are they becoming sentient? They must all be grown from the same sample. Do you just then scrap all that and start from a new sample, and then wait till they
dunno.
get sentient again, and then it's
I don't know.
it's interesting.
They always say a chaos theory, isn't it? Life
Yeah.
will always find a way.
Do you start growing clones of flesh clones without the ability to become sentient? But then does that leave a part of the body out you need to cure on someone else?
And could the clones then become sentient?
Yeah.
And then become you? That's, yeah. Anyway.
But then they say that the cures are only for the rich. Well, because they have the cures, eventually it's going to be made available for the poor. Once they make all the money from it and it becomes synthesized and.
Yeah, it's I just was that moral dilemma was. I mean, I think that they should have been. Yeah, they're sentient. For God's sake, let them out and get on with it. But it was just if you didn't know they were sentient, there's a real
Yeah, I mean,
thing
it
there.
reminds me of that guy Michael Martin Schrelecki or whatever who basically bought a company that made a cancer
Pharma
drug.
Bro.
Oh, is
They
it?
call him Pharma Bro.
Right, yeah, and then he
PHARMA.
he jacked up the price to $1,000
yeah.
per pill because he knew people needed it because he was like, well, it's business.
Oh no, it's not business. You don't go into medicine. Don't you go into medicine to help? And
Yeah, but he
heal?
wasn't in medicine, he was in
a
business.
person. He just bought the company and jacked up the
And
price.
this is what's wrong with the corporate world. Thank
Well,
you.
that's all right. He's in jail now, I think.
Oh,
I
there
think
you
so,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good-o.
Ended up buying the Wu-Tang Clan's ridiculously priced album.
Yeah, and then
They only
refused to
made
play
one
it for
of-
anyone.
Yeah, well,
Oh, God. What a jerk. All right. And that's Moral Corner.
welcome to Moral Corner. So, are we for or against? No, okay.
Does a moral compass have a corner, though?
No, it doesn't.
Do moral compasses have corners, guys? Do they?
Did you do philosophy?
Yes.
That's it. I'm posting that on Facebook and taking it as my own. No.
I've literally had people do that to me before, though.
Okay.
Rose Cassandra then tries to blackmail the sisters, asking for money and a yacht in exchange for keeping quiet about the artificial humans they're growing.
Yeah, she's such a bitch, isn't she? The old Cassandra.
It's an issue I have with stories like this where they show someone to be like this terrible person, but then at the end they're like, oh, let's give them a nice happy ending.
Oh, because I think she kind of learns. I think by the end she's learned something.
It's like the new Star Wars movies where the Kylo Ren and everyone's like, oh my God, he's going to become a good guy. And it's like, he's killed millions of people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You still have to go to prison, even if you're nice afterwards.
Just because he turns nice for a little bit, you're not like, all right, let's fight together now. I was talking to Olivia, previous guest, about the Spy Kids movies. She was talking about the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
And she seems to think that the first Spy Kids movie probably doesn't meet the Bechdel test.
No. But it does. I think it does. I have a preferred test, and given that I'm a middle-aged, middle-class white man.
And that therefore we should listen to you.
Yes, but I prefer the Mako Mori test, where it's not very. It's more about character arcs than a specific conversation between two characters. So if you look it up online, the Mako Mori test, I think, is better for that sort of thing.
That sort of genre or that sort of thing.
It's more sort of. It's more. I hesitate to use the word. No, I shouldn't do that. That'll get me hate mail.
I'm
Please direct your hate mail to Scott Driscoll.
No, just send it to ex-Redcliffe MP.
He gets email in prison, right?
Yeah, for sure. Is he in prison?
I don't know.
Okay. No, I think it's a bit more. The Mako Mori test is a bit more feminist than the Bechdel test.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about podcasts. So there's a podcast called the Bechdel podcast.
Yeah.
She also mentioned Independence Day, and I was like, wait, aren't there any female? And I was like,
no.
Oh yeah,
there's the president's
no female
wife. There's the stripper girlfriend.
Yeah, I was there are no female characters in that movie.
No.
It's good to always have a stripper girlfriend in there. I think
the song "Baby Got Back" technically fulfills the role of the Bechdel test. So it's
I have no idea what the hell you guys are talking
it's
about.
the weirdest thing, isn't
Baby
it?
Got Back was a song.
But isn't it the weirdest thing, like Star Wars, the original? There's only one female character.
Two.
Who?
There's Princess Leia and there's Mon Mothma.
Gesundheit.
But it's more Princess Leia, isn't it? You know. All right. Okay.
Anyway.
Doctor Who.
They are chased by the zombies with Cassandra switching between Rose, the Doctor, and an infected artificial human.
I think that's a turning point for her when she's she goes, oh, they're so lonely, and you can see it really affects.
I tell you what she should do is she should put her body into one of those cat aliens, nurses.
They might not be compatible.
I don't know.
I suppose Doctor Who's like the Doctor is an alien life form. So yeah.
Because I remember that Cassandra was in the Doctor's body, and I was like, oh, how is Cassandra going to get the Doctor to that machine? But it turns out after you use it once, you don't need it again.
Yeah, I know. What was the point?
You just jump between everyone's bodies.
What was the bloody point of it in the first place?
Just go for it.
Yeah, it was like TARDIS energy.
Yeah.
I did like that when I paused the video when they were doing the machine just to have a bit of a look at the prop.
Yeah.
And it's a whole bunch of plastic tubes covered in alfoil. It was really nice to see an old school Doctor Who prop.
Oh, it'd be nice if they'd been bubble wrapped there.
Yeah.
I love when Cassandra's in the Doctor's the Cassandra's in Rose's body for the first time, and they turn back and they're like, "Oh no, your skin is gone," and it's basically them saying, "Oh no, the budget on the CGI ran out."
Oh look, she had a front and a back. She's got to run out of skin eventually.
Oh my God,
she?
Cassandra got back. Which matches the Bechdel test.
Just did, yes.
And she is bringing sexy back.
Yeah.
So there you
go. Cassandra does talk about other things than, men.
Yeah.
There you go.
I do like when she does that line when she's the Doctor and she goes, "Oh, all these new bits that have never been used," and they wonder, is it because he's brand new, or is it harking back to his asexual nature that he's got like things in his pants he doesn't use? I don't know.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Yeah. Tic Tacs, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to have a buzzsaw down there? Anyway.
Two of everything.
And then I tell you what I don't like about this episode is the way that they cure all of the zombies, where they just grab all the cures and just put them in there, and then it's like you don't even need to be in the shower. Share it around, share it around.
Yeah.
Well, they did only have like 6 minutes of the episode left.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, and look, I think for me, I could kind of forgive it because I had enjoyed the ride right up until then, and having Cassandra back was an interesting character to bring back.
Yeah,
I thought it was really good to have her back, and I thought it was good to let Billy Piper do some funny acting.
I get
know,
that.
I enjoyed it.
But there was also a thing, I think, with the conversion of Cassandra to being a nice person. I'm doing inverted commas with my fingers here.
Yeah.
Was the whole skin hunger thing. So no one had touched her for possibly hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And she gets a hug.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No.
All of a sudden I was like, oh, wow.
And they mentioned that about the flesh. It's like there's a whole subrace of species that have never been touched.
Yeah.
You know?
The new species could be a species of psychopaths who've never been touched and just go around killing everyone. God knows what the doctors
I think they would just go around hugging everyone.
So the cure would be a hug.
Yeah.
Free hugs.
It's just the little things you take for granted, like, mother hugging you when you're a kid.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, and it's very important.
Really sounds like incels the more that you talk about it. My mother never hugged me, so I'm going to be a sexist pig.
And they hate cats.
Yeah. I did get a bit excited though when he started making the cure, and I thought they were going to segue right into like a MacGyver / A-Team montage.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I kind of wanted it to be a little smarter than that because couldn't the cats have worked that out?
No, but they were too busy pushing things off shelves.
Oh, there you go. Chasing yarn.
Every time they tried to run away, there was a table with a mug on it. They're like, damn it.
Yeah, or a patch of sunlight, cardboard box.
What interests me is that they have these like super fancy future lifts, and then you see outside the lifts and it's like, it's just a normal lift.
I'm sorry, but the lift looked like an IKEA changing room.
Oh, but I do love, we did skip over that, but I do love Rose in it when she gets the disinfectant.
Yeah.
She's like, what?
There's no way that you'd be 100% dry, even after
it's
the
the
dry.
It's the future, yeah.
Yeah.
But then the doctor was giving it his best, I'm too sexy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Isn't he cool?
I'm too sexy for the doctor. Too sexy for the doctor.
Too sexy. All right. Come on, sexy. Let's get going.
Okay, all right. Then the doctor orders Cassandra out of Rose's body. Cassandra's servant Chip volunteers to accept her consciousness. He gives consent, basically.
He does give
yeah.
consent. I worship the mistress.
Chip's cloned body begins to fail, and Cassandra finally accepts her death.
I really liked the actor who did Chip, going from Chip to being Cassandra. That was a really good change. And I mean, why you would worship the mistress? She left him there to be, taken by the plague zombies, and he hid in a pod. And she didn't even think twice about him again.
Yeah, there's got to be a story somewhere where someone's written the arc from Cassandra on one to finding Chip to
Yeah.
Didn't he jump down a rubbish chute?
Well, I thought he jumped.
yes,
I thought
he
he
did.
jumped in
A
a
waste
barrel.
chute, yeah.
But they found him in a pod.
I remember him jumping down something, and the next time we see him, he's standing on a landing between two pods going, zombies.
That's right. It looks like a barrel, and I was like, why is he jumping into that barrel? And then I noticed a sign that said waste chute or something like that. Yeah, I remember that bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a
he's
scene they're
scarpers.
missing.
Although
that's because that's when they get cut off from the zombies. Cassandra just runs off, and
leaves him.
and he has to run the other way. Yeah.
I like the banter between Cassandra or Cassandra Rose and the doctor, when they're sort of talking about, when she's going on about, that doctor and he's got a new face, I must get the name of his cert.
Yes,
And then
Gallifrey.
Yeah. Well, I thought she was going to, because I haven't watched this episode since it came out.
No, I
it's been
haven't.
so long since I've seen this episode.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to realise that he could live for longer and then try and take his body to live in it. But
she
then
didn't.
she just goes, need his surgeon.
I don't. Yeah, and I love it when the doctor is her and he goes, you think he's a little foxy.
Yeah.
You like it.
You like it.
But I don't think she gets access to their memory, so she wouldn't know necessarily.
Just their most recent memories.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, I did feel bad for the nurses getting arrested because they were trying to help. And they were trying to kill. It's That's a dilemma.
Yeah, and plus it's like, I don't think all of them would have been on the same level.
No,
but,
that's right.
like
Lovis Haint seemed very nice. She was
then
looking
it's a
after
slippery
the face
slope
of Bo.
like, which Nazis were actual.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
head Nazis and
They didn't arrest every Nazi, did they? Didn't some of them get away?
I did.
Didn't they
I don't
end
know why
up
you're
on the
looking at
moon?
me. I didn't arrest any Nazis.
Didn't you arrest any
No, I'm
Nazis?
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
How have we segued to our Nazi podcast?
Oh,
How have we not up till now?
yeah.
It's an editing
That is
issue.
really
Yeah. This is the first time the doctor says, I'm sorry. I'm so
I
sorry.
know, and that was a big catchphrase for him. But I did find the ending when they let Cassandra or Chip go and see Cassandra when Cassandra's Zoe, what's her name? Wanamaker. I love her.
Yeah, it was a nice ending. Even if I don't think Lady Cassandra had deserved it.
No, Harriet Jones deserved bloody better.
She was looking tired.
No, she was.
They make a quick thing at the end and they're like, all right, well, you're good now. Let's give you what you want.
And everyone on the island was saved by, let's
say Mo.
Yes. Very much so. But it was a beautiful moment.
Oh, sorry, it really makes me laugh.
And I think that last scene really showcases Zoe Wanamaker's acting talent.
I thought she was just so lovely in it, and she's exactly what you think Cassandra would have been like as that human, all the rich and the you silly thing and flirting with everybody. But I love that she makes the pattern on Chip. Because of the last man who ever told her she loved
the tribal
how
patterns that are
beautiful
all
she
over
was.
his face.
And it was Chip.
Yeah.
So I love that little sort of, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey
And it's not
thing.
a paradox because she just takes the template from him. She doesn't take the sample from him. Some people have listed that as a paradox, and it's not.
No, it's just the template. It was good fun, and it was nice to watch it because I have not watched it since it was first aired. So,
This was the first episode that I watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? So you hadn't watched any of the Christopher Eccleston ones?
No. So I started watching 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I decided to watch, from this episode, all of David Tennant.
Yeah.
Then I went back and watched the first David Tennant Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Then I went and watched Eccleston, then Matt Smith.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was to Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi was just starting.
So you watched it in a different order.
Yeah, I
but-
watched it in a weird order. I don't know why.
Oh, but
Is it weird?
Yeah.
I can admit to
Like
that.
us.
I don't know if I'm that intense, but yeah. Oh, God.
Drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else anyone else wants to mention about the episode?
Was this the first episode where the doctor was referred to as the Lonely God?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't pick that up.
Yes, because it's the face of Bo.
Yeah, yeah.
Lonely, and she says, and Novice Haim says he will talk to the lonely God.
Oh, that's the thing is that
I don't like the lonely
face
God.
the face of Bo calls him is like, I've got a message for you. All of this other stuff just happens to happen, and then the face of Bo is like, nah, see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
I'm better now. I didn't particularly like that bit. I thought that the face of Bo, they were just kind of using that to, although I suppose he does come back in, but But Stephen Moffat always gets in trouble for being the one about the lonely God, where this is started in a Russell T Davies episode.
Yeah.
So to everybody who doesn't like Stephen Moffat.
Such a Stephen Moffat supporter.
No, I'm just such a baby.
Such an amazing medium to blow raspberries into your night.
And I don't know, I took notes while I was watching the episode, and towards the end here, between Face of Bo now not dying and Cassandra goes into Chip, I've written down enigmatic as fuck, and I don't know why.
That's because the face of Bo, and the doctor goes, now that's enigmatic.
Yeah, okay,
and Cassandra's
yeah.
unimpressed.
Yeah. Okay, that's what that was.
I don't want a big face of Bo in my head.
So that means the great secret can wait before that as well. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because I'm sitting there watching it thinking, oh, I know what the great secret is that he's going to get. And then he doesn't get it. And I went, oh, God, when does he get the great secret? So I had to look forward to see when the next face of Bo was. And I went, oh, okay. There you go.
Future episodes.
Great secret.
So was the great secret the one that Jack... Ooh,
No.
spoilers.
No.
Jack, I can't remember what the great
The
secret
Great Secret
was.
is 42.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I thought it was 34. That's more entertaining to me.
We don't want to know what you do when you're not editing the podcast.
Yeah. Exactly.
While you're editing the podcast.
Don't yuck her yum.
What? I got lost.
Her yum.
Don't yuck her yum. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's right.
Okay.
I
that makes
heard
more
it right
sense.
the first
Don't
time.
kink
What
shame
the
it,
fuck?
yeah, no kink shaming.
Yeah.
The doctor wouldn't kink shame.
No,
That's
of course not.
exactly. He would probably just get involved.
Yeah.
Or give your hand. Give your hand onto the suspended rope.
Anything else about the episode?
Let me just have a quick look at my notes. I have written down here around the time of the MacGyver A-Team montage where he's solving all the problems.
Yeah.
That's not the way science works.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
It's not the way science
Can you just mix a
works.
bunch of medicine together and just drink it?
I know. For all he knows, he could have given them some other form of cancer, leprosy.
And
you know.
also,
I
there's
mean, at least measure it out.
I'm assuming
look like you were doing something sciencey.
they've got every single disease, so I'm assuming they've got a bunch of diseases that haven't been cured yet. Because if they've cured them all, they wouldn't be experimenting on them anymore.
No, they wouldn't either.
So, you know.
Ooh, good point, Adam. Well, I don't know why I
Thank you.
bothered.
That's the first time you've ever...
Yeah. Well, it's the first
Complimented
good
him.
point he's ever made. I'm really impressed with that.
It only took 50 episodes or whatever.
Are we 50 episodes in?
Probably by now.
Wow.
Seems about right.
All right, so
I
let's
think
give
that's on my notes.
let's give it a score out of 5. Does anyone
Ooh.
want to go first?
I will.
Yeah, go for it.
So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't remember having a huge impact on me when I first watched it. I remember thinking it was all right. So I went back and I watched it. There are episodes I like a lot more, and I was wavering between a 3 and a 4. So I've decided on a 3.5
Okay.
because it's better than a 3, but it's not quite a 4 for me because I know what I think is a 4 or a 5. So 3.5 for me.
Okay. Scott?
Look, I think I'm going pretty close to a 3.5 as well. I think it probably gets about a 3, but then the scene in the elevator between with them two separated and with David Tennant obviously enjoying it so much and Billy Piper obviously not enjoying it too much was a really nice sort of nice moment.
Yeah.
So I think that gets an extra half point for me for that little bit of comedy.
Yeah, I'm with you. The half point is the comedy.
Yeah. It'd go close to a 4, but I'm going to stick with a 3.5.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I agree. I was definitely going to give it a 3 because to me it's a bog standard Doctor Who episode. But yeah, talking about it, remembering that it does have a lot of good comedy in it, and so yeah, I'm going to go with a 3.5 as well.
It just needs something a little more than a 3, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There is
3 is a little bit too low, but
and
it's no
4's
way I could
too-
give it a 4.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. What did you think, Beck?
Oh, shit.
It's one of your favourite episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, so I was going to give it a 4. And all of you guys are just like, it's not good enough for a 4.
It doesn't matter what we say.
No,
Yeah,
For the
it's about you.
for the content, I would give it a 3.5.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just giving it a half extra because it's the first episode that I watched.
and that's nostalgic.
I feel like if it wasn't a good episode for me, then I probably wouldn't have continued watching Doctor Who because it was like such an impactful thing. If I thought it was really crap, I wouldn't have continued. I'd said, no, that show's crap.
Yeah, it was your gateway to Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we all have. There's episodes that people don't like that I love because I have a nostalgia
definitely.
Yeah.
about them, and so I'll always give them extra points because they're what make me feel warm and fuzzy about Doctor Who.
Well, I'll occasionally go back and rewatch Talons of Wing Chang and Horror at Fang Rock because I have such fond memories of those, not only because it's Doctor Who and it's good, but because like Mr. Sin, the little ventriloquist dummy, scared the ever-living F out of me and I had to hide behind the couch. So there's 2 episodes that do that to me. That's Talons of Wing Chang and the Zygons in the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, really?
I couldn't watch those whole episodes as a child. I would get up and leave, and I would never leave sci-fi.
Wow. When I was a kid was Davros.
Oh yeah,
The first time I ever saw Davros, I thought, oh my God, that man is terrifying.
yeah.
And it was the best makeup I had ever seen. I mean, he looked like he could be a real person when I was a kid. And I think you should always have your favourites and you should never be swayed by anyone's opinion if they don't like them.
So you're the host. We have a Time Lord name, so I don't have to ask you for that. But we do have a new segment that we ask.
Oh sure.
What movie do you think would be improved by adding the Doctor? Now, it could be a good movie that you just want to see the Doctor in, or it could be a bad movie that you think would actually be improved.
Yeah. I have a rule in my life, which is if someone asks me about a movie, they'll know whether it's good or bad if I say needed a werewolf.
Oh, right. Okay. That's interesting.
So it's like if someone comes and goes, "Oh, so what did you think of Hobbs and Shaw?" And I go, "Oh, needed a werewolf." Okay, so I think the Doctor would suitably improve Under Siege.
Okay.
Yeah, well, just not Steven Seagal being in it would definitely
replace Steven Seagal with the Doctor.
Yeah,
and like you still get Erica Eleniak to be the companion for that.
Oh, absolutely.
So when she jumps out of a TARDIS shaped cake.
Yes.
But wasn't Under Siege back when Steven Seagal was actually like good looking, like not.
It doesn't matter if
pudgy?
he's good looking; he can't act.
No, but like in recent, it's true. But
He can't
in recent
act.
years, he
I'm
is
sorry,
like
everyone,
super
he can't
pudgy
act.
and still goes around being like, "I'm super good at kung fu or
And he's an
martial
actual
arts or
like
whatever."
law enforcement professional now too, apparently.
Yeah.
When I was teaching script writing at the Queensland School of Film and Television, Steven Seagal movies would be a great example of what not to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is that your character will change. You know, he's a Buddhist who's a pacifist, and the next thing you know, he's slaughtering everybody. And that's a character change that's hard to
it's
follow.
hard to follow.
I saw the Steven Seagal movie Glimmer Man, and it's one of his later movies, and he's supposed to be this martial arts expert. And he gets out of breath just running from like one scene to another, but then in another scene he does this amazing kung fu, and it's like, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure he's running from one McDonald's to the other.
I know on McDonald's.
And that's fine. That's what I do. But I don't pretend to be a huge martial arts expert, do I? All right, Under Siege. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Scott, do you have any plugs?
We will be having in late November Die Hard, the movie, the play, at the Brisbane Powerhouse.
And I'm definitely going to go and check that out. I saw Titanic, the movie, the play, when it was at the Powerhouse.
Wow.
I've been cast. I don't know whether I'm allowed to reveal who I'm cast as, but yeah, I've been cast in that, so that should be fun.
Fantastic.
But yeah, Speed the movie, the play. If you came to see it, thank you, and come and see Die Hard, the movie, the play at the Powerhouse.
And who's that through? You want to promote their
That's
Facebook?
Act React. Yes, well, they're on Facebook. We're on Facebook. I suppose I've been in all of the movie, the plays so far.
Yeah.
And they also produce the Love
Hate Actually, which will be down the Sydney Fringe as well. Once again,
which is
before this
bloody
plays.
everywhere. It's been at Edinburgh Festival.
Yeah.
Wow.
I built some of the props for that, and I'm in a video
we
they
can
use.
ask them about it for our trip to Edinburgh Festival.
Yeah, absolutely.
So technically, I've been at the Edinburgh Fringe. I'm in part of the multimedia for Love Hate Actually. There's a video insert at the end of it that they use,
Wow.
and myself, my wife, and our dog are in that.
Cool.
You mean yourself, your dog, and my wife?
Yes,
God.
that's right. I'm Borat. Thank you for such a 1990s deep cut, Adam.
So for everyone who's young listening, that was a movie in the...
Oh, Borat. Oh, for God's sake.
Anyway, so anything else? Do you have a performers page? or-
I've got a Scott Driscoll actor, presenter, host page, but it doesn't get a lot of traffic.
And you'll be at Supernova.
I'm sure I'll be at Supernova
Definitely.
in some capacity in November in Brisbane.
Maybe hosting?
Probably. I haven't sent that information off yet as the host. Yeah,
John Barrowman's going to be at this one, but only for the Friday night, apparently.
and John Travolta.
Yes.
Really?
Very
John Travolta's
strange.
going to be at Supernova.
Wouldn't it be great if you get John Barrowman to be our guest on D4WH?
That would be amazing, yeah. And if you're a fan of the podcast, if you go and meet one of the people who are on Doctor Who, like John Barrowman or anything like that, if you're a fan of the podcast, maybe just mention it to them. Say, hey, there's this podcast I love, D4WH. If you let us know in enough time, we might be able to send you a card to give to them.
And the other thing is Tim did that. Being Tim, mentioned our podcast to John Barrowman when he met him. But he said he was so starstruck, it probably sounded like
And
if enough fans mentioned it to them, maybe they will come and check it out. That would be absolutely amazing. We would definitely mention you on the podcast.
Gosh, that would be great. Oh, you know how we love John Barrowman.
Oh, yes.
Okay, calm your tits, guys. You look like you.
I'm getting a little bit hot.
You guys are getting a little bit fluffy.
All right.
I shared a stage with him, right?
Oh, yes, we
that's
do.
right.
We
Yes,
do.
we did a whole
And a
episode
bed
about it,
afterwards.
basically.
Yes.
So, Nicchia, do you want to...
Oh, yeah, I'll promote my Facebook page, which is Nicchia Shoot Comedy. And, of course, always I will promote All In, whether I'm running it or not. All In Brewery, the last Friday of every month, and really good.
And as always, you can follow Adam O'Sullivan Comedian on Facebook and visit thenerdinfinite.com.
Just a reminder, D4WH is on Facebook, so please give our page a like. Follow us on Twitter and on Instagram, D4WH Pod. You can rate and review us on iTunes, recommend us on Facebook, and follow us on Podbean. We're also now available on Spotify and Stitcher. Tell your friends about us. If you see someone on the street wearing a Doctor Who t-shirt, politely go up and tell them they should listen to our podcast.
And we'd also like to mention we've had 2 new reviews.
Yay,
Yay,
thank you. Thank you.
Someone
Please-
listens to the podcast?
Yes, that's right.
2 people.
Not just my
Wow.
mum. I actually don't know if my mum would know how to leave a review, so I'm going to have to show her how to do it.
Actually,
Yeah.
I've got a question. Does Dave listen?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I think he left the first review.
Yeah, he did leave the first review and he gave me 5 stars and he's lucky.
Nice.
He gave me 2 stars. It was,
So did anyone's mum actually listen to the adults episodes?
no.
No.
Our first review is from Tad Davis from the United States of America. Thank you very
Hello,
much.
Tad.
Hi, Tad.
The title is Worth It for the Theme Song.
Oh,
Thank you. Oh my God.
Adam's been desperate to read this one.
Why is the table just lifting slightly at his end?
Thank you so much. I'm still absolutely bloody amazed that people love a theme song that I wrote in my bedroom and recorded in my kitchen.
I still think it's a great theme song. So.
Where I couldn't figure out how to use something like GarageBand to make the backing track, so I was like, screw it, I'll just do it myself. The review is, well, it's only 4 stars, but okay. I don't know how we can. Please reach out to us, Tad, and tell us how we can improve.
How
because
can
we
we
would
get
love to
another
improve.
star out of you, buddy?
4 stars, not enough for us. We need that extra star, baby. The review goes, lively discussion guaranteed. Also, great variety of viewpoints. Some guests are big fans of the Doctor, and some have never watched an episode until asked to watch one for the podcast. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
nice.
So I thought that was a very nice one. Thank you, Tad.
That's great. Yeah, we do like to have a variety of different viewpoints from Scott. Obviously, you know, classic Who up till now, and people have never watched the show at all. Although, as I say to everybody I talk to about the podcast, we have discovered that everyone seems to either know about the Doctor or have watched the Doctor in some capacity.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
It's not like we're doing a podcast on, I don't know, some bizarre
The
little
Bechdel
show
test.
that
Yeah. Apparently, it's a good podcast. Guys.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen now.
Nicchia, would you like to do our other review?
Right. It is from Mum of Yum.
Ooh.
Ooh, Mum of Yum.
Is this you?
Yes. No, it's not. It's
me.
It's not. Yeah. Scott, you're... Ooh, great to hear Aussies discussing Doctor Who. So Mum of Yum says, I don't always agree with their opinions, but it's good to listen.
Nice.
That's true. We don't always agree with our own opinions.
No one's ever
either.
going to agree wholeheartedly with everyone
I don't
else.
agree with most of the opinions I say on here.
I'm surprised we all agree today.
I don't remember any of mine.
No.
I don't know who you are.
Who am I?
I'm not allowed to have opinions on
No.
the podcast.
Shall I get on with this?
Yeah,
or-
sure.
Yes.
Why not?
Oh, okay. Or we could just keep bantering. I don't always agree with their opinions, but it's good to listen to people, including at least one woman. Yes! Yes! Yes!
Yeah, at least one woman. Let's,
Well, now you're in it more, so there's 2 women.
Yeah.
At least one
I'm a
woman,
woman?
one woman being funny about Doctor Who.
Oh.
Thank you very much, because I never understood how they said girls don't like Doctor Who. Never, when I was growing up, everyone said, oh, no. And there was all jokes about boy nerds, and I was thinking, oh,
Yeah.
okay. They all loved the show so much, they made a podcast.
That's right.
I love that review. Thank you very much.
How many stars
Mum
was
of
it?
Yum?
5.
It was fun.
Oh,
And-
5
Ooh,
stars.
thank you very much. Yeah, so that was the intention when we started the podcast, to have, a male and a female.
Yeah.
Because no one ever talks about the male reaction to everything, so that's why we had to have a male.
But the thing is that a lot of podcasts are either 2 women or 2 men.
Yeah.
And we're also different eras.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good. And anyone who thinks that women don't like Doctor Who, you are so bloody wrong.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We love it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
Most of the fans I knew growing up were women.
Yeah.
I don't know where that myth
But you were
came
living
from.
off their mascara, so.
Yeah. I was
Oh
living.
my God, Wonder Woman watches Doctor Who?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, and the Amazonian
She
women.
can lasso truth me
and-
anytime.
she's dated a few Gallifreyans in her time.
Yeah, probably.
Haven't we all? Yeah, so that was really good to get those reviews. Thank you, everybody.
A location and a object.
Oh, okay. A location would be a hipster butcher
Mm-hmm.
and a chainsaw.
Oh,
Right.
get the word out. You run a small little artisanal butcher shop, but it's all vegan, so there's absolutely no, it's all plant-based. You grow your meat out in the back garden that you just pick it off the tree. And,
Your flesh.
Yeah, that's right. The flesh, that's right.
Flesh.
You experiment all types of diseases on it to see which one is the tastiest. And it's it's going out of business, obviously, because nobody knows about it. Oh, my God, it's so hipster. So you decide one day that you're sick of all of it and you take a chainsaw to all of the plants. It's all right because they're plants, they're flesh, they're grown for this. So it's totally fine. And you just sit in your burning building as it burns to the ground, listening to D4WH as the world destroys around you. Until next time, keep searching the skies for the Doctor.
Oh, I'm really depressed now. Goodbye.
Bye.
This has been a production of The Nerd Infinite. And then the sound of dragons spitting fire and stuff. What? Why are you looking at me like that?